So there's an intermediate step that a lot of people miss. They're like, all right, so I understand where you're coming from. You feel this, this, and this, but they don't say that out loud.
Mm.
So therefore, I'll tailor my approach to what my understanding is. Now, the critical intervening step is making sure that you got the understanding right. And so, my friend Stephen Kotler, brilliant dude, I recommend his training, The Rise of Superman and Stealing Fire, phenomenal books. Everybody should read. Stephen says empathy is about the transmission of information. Sympathy and compassion are the reaction to the transmission.
Mm. Interesting.
So when you have empathy, you got to demonstrate it.
Okay, fair enough. You talk about there are three types of active listening, and there are techniques that you can use. You talk about mirroring and silences, and what you refer to as the late night FM DJ voice.
The late night FM DJ voice.
Elaborate on what you mean by that and the other, and also mirroring and silence as well, because active listening seems to be a critical thing you need to do when you're having a conversation or negotiating with anyone.
Yeah, and it's proactive
Okay.
listening, and it's informed listening. What are we proactive about? What are we informed about? Understand human wiring that we talked about before. Like whichever type we are, we're in survival mode, which is the default mode of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
We're negative. You're pessimistic. Like, I got to worry about this outcome. You're going to predict 15 of the three possible disasters. Like economists. Economists have accurately predicted 15 out of the last three actual recessions. They always say it's the guy's fault. But that's human nature.
Sure.
So you proactively, I got to understand that you're probably in survival mode. Success mode is highly positive, but we don't wake up in success mode. We got to override the system to stay in success mode. You do gratitude exercises, you meditate, you work out, you do all the self-maintenance things that people tell us that contribute to our success. Why do we do these? Because survival mode is negative.
Okay.
So knowing that, number one, I know that in advance. Number two, I know the best way to deactivate that is to simply call it out, not deny it, but to call it out. Now, these are the tools that you were talking about a few minutes ago for proactive. Am I labeling? Am I mirroring? Am I using dynamic silence? Am I giving you a chance to think? I'm using these because I'm informed in advance that you're probably in survival mode and that fear of loss is the single biggest impact on your decision making, followed closely by identity, followed by your vision of the future. Vision drives the decision. If I got these guidelines to begin with and I'm listening to you, I'm going to be very proactive as to teasing these out. And then I'm going to be proactive with the use of the skills to either deactivate or nurture the emotions that are going to influence how you make decisions. Vision drives decision, emotion drives vision. You begin to see the linkage in how this works. So I'm going to use the hostage negotiation skills because hostage negotiation just works because you're a human being.